Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew, and welcome back to the void. It's quite cold in here, but and this is going to be episode one of a multi part series. I'm not even sure how long it's going to be, but all I know for sure is I just came back a couple days ago from a 2-week trip. Finally, get some words on the screen now. That's nice. We went on a 10-day trip to Japan and then Canada. We were originally going to stay in Canada for a day, then the next morning leave for Japan, and then after Japan, return back to Canada for another day-ish, and then finally come back home. But things didn't go quite as planned, and you'll see just why. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew, and welcome back to the Coin Channel. This is the first part of this multi-part series of the Japan trip and Canada trip, hopefully. I say hopefully because, well, our first leg of the trip got canceled. All because of that whole glitch that they had with the Air Canada systems. It pretty much caused all these extra flights to have to be done in a very short period of time. It automatically rebooked us for a new plane and refunded the difference of the seats that we paid. So, now we are not going to Canada anymore. We are going to San Francisco, at least for the first leg of the trip. I did pick up some new Garrett headphones, so those will be nice to have. But yeah, pretty disappointing first part of the trip. I was hoping to enjoy a nice breakfast, maybe go to a Longo's and pick up some pastries or have the breakfast at the hotel. We'll just see what happens. And the worst part is we've been calling all day and trying to get help and get reductions in fares, getting better deals, but not much they can do. And the limited number of selections of planes means we really can't get a better deal. So we are stuck with the kind of crappy United Airlines instead of Air Canada. So yeah, I'm not too upset with them because they did immediately refund our seats and, overall did what they could as an airline. So it just sucks that there's been so much of a delay and all the pushover with all the workers. I guarantee they're being overworked a lot right now. So, yeah, I wish them all the best. So, we'll just have to see. One more thing. On top of all these problems today, yesterday my computer finally died. It no longer works well. I got this new Acer laptop instead. It's pretty nice. It's a Nitro 5. It's got all the video drivers I need. I was using Premiere Pro for the previous video, but I didn't get much. I had a whole bunch of errors that would come up when I would start it up. Now those are non-existent, and this computer is pretty good. It is running Windows 11, which has a lot of spyware on it built in, so I'm going to hope to try to use some Linux operating system or something and only use Windows 11 when necessary. Pretty happy with this computer so far. It works pretty good, but the battery is pretty low, and that's just because it has a whole graphics card in there. Anyway, that's going to be all for this bit, so I'll catch you guys on the next one. So, what to do on day one? Ah, yes, we gotta get to the airport. So, we ended up waking up at like 3:15 in the morning and didn't leave until about 4 o'clock, so that was painful. But we catch an Uber and arrive at the airport, and it just happens to be way before the sun rises, obviously. But it looks to be a beautiful day today, and our plane is looking quite nice, honestly. It's a nice airplane. Something I will say about DFW, it's a really nice thing to finally be able to see which stalls are occupied without having to check manually. You just look up and see if the light's green. And it was also nice to look out and see the control tower as well. And as we approach the plane upon leaving the gate, I always feel tempted to press those glowing buttons on the sky bridge. But it's also interesting to see the door handle to the plane too. Never really noticed it before. But we find this seat and notice that I'm right behind the emergency exit, so I won't die. That's good. Anyway, looking out, I see a little door under one of the engines of another plane, and I was kind of curious about what that was for. And sure enough, it was opened by one of the lovely ground crew. Where does it go? Who knows? I don't know. They do, but I don't. Anyway, someone else who was curious too was good old Kevin here. He's never traveled before, so it's good to share this experience together. He was pretty excited about it too. So, of course, you see an important reminder about fastening your seatbelts, and we also see the world's largest parking lot. We finally are set to take off into the air on our way to San Francisco. And outside the window, I see some mountains here, as well as some rivers too. But ultimately, we land and see some round water towers in the distance. What does it say? Have an idea? Let's take a look here. As you can see, it says SFO, which is the airport code for San Francisco. Other airports also like to welcome in travelers in different ways, so it's kind of cool to see a new version of it. And as we taxi to the gate, one of the funniest things to me is that everyone in the plane seems to do the same thing at the same time. For example, the seatbelt sign turning off, everyone removes their buckles at the same time. Whether that be on their own or because other people do it, who knows? Have a listen and see what you think. But yeah, we finally arrive at San Francisco, the first leg of our journey done. And it is a pretty nice airport, and we seem to get through pretty quickly too. And this sign is perfect because my mind is a void at this point. But it's been so long, but finally seeing Tokyo on the map is a surreal thing to me. Last time I went was all the way back in 2018, and one thing that's really weird about this plane is that it seems like they only want us to stop smoking, but everyone else is just fine. Take a look and see what I'm talking about. So, that's not that cool, Get with the times, So uncool. Unless you just want to be mean to me, what did I ever do to you? Anyway, we take off, and we are in the air for about 2 hours or so before the first meal of the trip begins. So they added a choice of either chicken or beef, and I ended up getting pasta, so I believe I got the chicken. And other people seem to get some kind of beef bowl, and I kind of regretted my choice in the end, as, gyudon's my jam. I mean, look at these beef bowls, look at them. So delicious looking, and you'll never get something like this on the plane, but whatever, inspiration, whatever, it's fine. Anyway, there was this little brownie cookie which was pretty good, and an unusual grain salad. Super sweet, but it was alright. Kind of felt like something aliens would consider as human food though. A little weird. Anyway, before we knew it, we landed in Haneda, and I didn't end up sleeping at all on it since it was entirely a day flight, and I felt like it was best to just stay up and tough it out. And while I waited, I did end up watching 8 Mile, which is a great movie, as well as Shrek and Groundhog Day, which are absolute classics. And day one is all done, and once I sat foot in the airport, all the memories came flooding back. It was a really great view of the apron and runway too, as I just stood there on the moving walkway. I could see plenty of planes on the ground, so that was really cool. And at this point my head's pretty much empty, so I just enjoy the sights and soak in the view from the limousine bus back to Shinjuku. Gotta say, I love the design of the roads here. It's extremely easy to know where you are. People just seem to take care of the environment better here as well. Everything was so nice looking. You can also see the radar next to the control tower, and have a look at the police cars too. I thought this church also looked a little odd. It just looked a bit American looking in the design, compared to all the other buildings. But you know, it's still interesting, and I just can't get over the natural beauty here. You can take a look at the Japanese ivy here. It's right on the side of the highway, so it's super polluted, but the leaves are nice, thick, and healthy. So that's really cool. We do make it back to Shinjuku though, and after a quick taxi ride home, I hit up my local 7-Eleven and pick out some dinner to get me through the night. It's a delicious looking egg omelet with demi-glace sauce, all over rice. And man, Japanese food just never gets old to me. And you know, that about does it for this video. So next time around, I'll be hitting up Shinjuku, as well as just kicking around the city, seeing what's changed since last time I visited. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching.